It looks like we put a backdrop on it, but not real. I mean, who gets to
I don't know about that.
Need a hand, Jack?
No, thanks, Bill. I think the wind got it or something. The wind got
weight
it.
it down with something, or put something behind it so it won't. I know one thing, you can't hold that position long.
You keep saying your connection is weak.
It's core strength.
And there's John appearing on the scene.
Hello. Sorry, we're getting started a little bit late. Okay, well, Stacy here had too much good food. I don't know. Test. Hello.
There you go.
Is that okay?
Sorry about handling that camera. The wind blew the little iPhone over, but we're getting going. Check it out.
So you can start.
I am. I want to welcome everyone and just thank you for coming and how lucky I was to get this afternoon of sunshine and not a lot of wind and mostly just to sit as an audience in front of these two. I think that's where our luck is really and blessing. I could go on for an hour and a half, but I won't. I'll just tell you that I love these two deeply. I've known them both a long time in a variety of contexts, but this is one of my favorites because we get to hear their stories tonight through their music, which is just out of this world. And I just think that that's a privilege to get to just hang out in nature and hear each other's lives through music. But we get to hear yours. But we hope to just love on you at 6 o'clock, which is when we'll break again and have a little dessert. So, save a little room, digest as we listen for the next hour and a half. And it's also a treat really to have a focused listening concert and not compete against the roar of the brewery or, another venue. So in that vein, we just appreciate you staying seated for an hour and a half, if you will. If you can't, we understand. We're recording, which is exciting too. So thank you for being a part of that, and mostly just sit back and enjoy the evening. And welcome to John Floridis and Katie Oates.
Oh, thank you so much. We are in a mutual admiration society. I have to confess, I really adore Stacy, and we met in the early 2000s, and Stacy took me on a fly fishing trip, and I just thought this was the coolest thing in the world. Here was this woman, first of all, with all these other fly fishing guys, and then she was voted the best guide in the region, and I just thought, oh my God, this is the coolest thing. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So there was that, and then she dresses up in this fabulous Doncaster clothing and looks like she could fit in New York City, and then takes me out to the music scene in Missoula, which is of course how I met Floridis. So as far as I'm concerned, Stacy just wrote the book on it all. So, and now with Eric, that we just love, and this house car. I mean, have you ever seen a more beautiful setting? So can we just give it up for Stacy and Eric? Oh my gosh. And then getting to share the stage here with Mr. John Floridis. I've listened to him on many occasions, and most especially have loved the times I've gotten to hear him with Tom Catmull and Jen Adams, and then Susan Gibson, who I just had adored from afar and loved her songs, and especially the Wide Open Spaces, and that had meant a lot to me. And then all of a sudden I was sitting here in Missoula just listening to Susan Gibson. So I've got to start out tonight with a Susan Gibson tune. A lot of love for Stacy and Eric and John, and thanks so much. Who doesn't know left home who never struck out to find a dream and a life of their own. A place in the clouds, a foundation of stone. Many precede, many will follow. A young girl's dream, no longer hollow. It takes the shape of a place down west. But what it holds for her, she has a yes, she needs wide open spaces, no room to make her big mistakes. She needs new faces. She knows the high stakes. She knows the highest stakes. She traveled this road as a child. Sure did. Argosy motorhome, right? I think I was asleep. No, Dad was driving. Wide-eyed and grinning, she never tired. That was more my sister. But now she won't be coming back with the rest. These are life lessons. Oh, she'll take this test. She needs wide open spaces for room to make her big mistakes. She needs new faces. She knows the high stakes. She knows the highest stakes. So this song has come full circle on me. 'Cause, you know, I identified with that girl wanting those wide open spaces. And now I have a son who's a junior at the University of Oregon, all the way across the country from me. My daughter's a senior in high school. And I think that girl is going to leave home next year, headed for New York City, I think. So she's got her own wide open spaces. As the folks drive away, your dad yells, check the oil. Mom stares out the window, says I'm leaving the girl. She says it didn't seem like that long ago. When she stood there and let her own snow, she needs wide open spaces. Oh, room to make her big mistakes. She needs new faces. She knows the high stakes. She knows the highest stakes.
Well, that was a surprise. I knew you were going to bust that one out.
Yeah. I thought I'd surprise you
cool.
with that one. Because I didn't really even want to know how. I mean, I've heard Susan Gibson play it, and of course the Dixie Chicks. And I thought I had heard it a little bit closer to Susan's version, but yeah, I didn't even want to know. I didn't catch her playing it this time around, so I was like, oh, I don't want to know how she did that. Yeah.
Well, that's the great thing about songs, though, is hearing people rearrange them, you know, the way that
They want to do it.
Right. Well, I wasn't planning on starting with the songs, but to kind of keep with the Susan Gibson theme, I don't have any of Susan's tunes under my fingers, but I do have a tune of mine that Susan sang on my first recording, which is now 20 years old.
Wow, you guys go back that far.
We do.
Wow.
I know. That's That's funny. I knew me and my album went back 20 years, but I guess yeah, Susan and I did too. And Susan didn't know she was going to be the subject of this house concert.
No. Susan.
And but yeah, with this tune I had asked her to sing a harmony part on, and she came in and she had not just a harmony part, she had a whole counter melody to it and turned it into a duet, and I was just flabbergasted. It was just fantastic. So yeah, we'll do that, and this tune is called Spinning Wheel.
Changing, you can feel the times changing, you can feel the changes coming fast. She can feel the road turning, she can feel the tide turning from the past. On and on it goes, it's like a wheel spinning around. Where we're going, nobody knows. Just let my feet touch the ground.
You're welcome to try to sing along with us if you want to. I hear you over there. You think nobody hears you, but I hear you.
She can feel her mind going. She can feel the garden growing. She can feel them growing underneath. He can feel the gates closing. He can feel the circle closing. The closing of release. On and on it goes. Just like a wheel spinning around. Where we're going, nobody knows. Just let my feet touch the ground. Changing, they can feel the times changing, they can feel the changes coming fast. They can feel the road turning, they can feel the tide turning come to pass. And on it goes, just like a wheel spinning around. My feet touch the ground. Well, on and on and on it goes, just like a wheel spinning around. Where we're going, nobody knows. Just let my feet touch the ground. Touch the ground. Touch the ground. Touch the ground.
So most of the songs I want to sing for you tonight are my own original songs, and I am coming out with an EP, 5 songs, and I'm going to start with those 5 songs. So most of these songs I'll be singing for you next are going to be on that EP. You you're welcome to sign up for my email list so you can find out when that hits the ground. I'm not sure. All the songs are recorded and mastered, but of course the graphic designer then was late. So, that's how it goes. Well, I'm late for work. The car won't start. The rent's past due. My phone is fried. Paid my bills with a bad bank card. Now the power's off. I've lost my pride. Only one thing left to do. Go on laughing through my tears. Yes, laughing away my fears. 'Cause when I'm down so far and I feel so alone, that's when up's the only place to go. I'll go on laughing. Yes, laughing away my tears. Well, my old man stumbled in late last night, smelling like beer and sweet perfume. Said he works too hard, his life ain't right. I bring him down, he needs more room. Only one thing left to do. Go on laughing through my tears. Yes, laughing away my fears. One thing's for certain, there will always be sorrow, but I won't waste time crying, 'cause there ain't always tomorrow. So I'll go on laughing. Yes, laughing.
Well, first of all, it's a beautiful song, and second of all, a huge kudos for putting out an EP, because that is anytime, I know firsthand, anytime putting together a project like that, it's a huge endeavor, and I'm laughing with you when I, laugh at the fact that the graphic arts thing wasn't
yeah.
ready. That's musicians are notorious for spending all their money on the recording parts and all the time and effort, and then the last minute. I'm not saying this happened with you,
No,
but
yeah.
it's like a lot of times those kinds of things, like, oh, that's not ready.
What, you need time to do the
Yeah, right. No, I'm ready to put it out right now. So congratulations on that. That's a great thing to put that together. Well, I think I will follow that with a tune I wrote a few years ago. Well, more than 4 years ago. I know that for sure because I'm 54 years old now, and the tune's called Almost 50.
Oh, oops.
So I was on
That's
the,
rough dating yourself like that with the song.
yeah, but that's okay. I was on the precipice of 50 and trying to contemplate that, and depending on the age of the crowd, either I get a yeah or a
Yeah.
give me a break, kid. So looking at this crowd, I think I might get a little bit of both. So that's good. That's good. Anyway, so one of the things that Katie and I were talking about earlier that she really had paid attention to and gotten on top of was the juxtaposition. I got all excited about coming up with the idea of juxtaposing the angst of turning 50 with major chords, and then the upside of what my life was about that time over the minor chords. So that was my little trick.
I think of leaving here freely. I think of it all the time. And sometimes it goes through everywhere. The worst ones are in my mind. But the view here is spectacular. And you know what they say. You're getting paid to eat the scenery, and I eat well every day. And I often think of what could have been, and at times I can't control it. One thought feeds on the previous one. Days gone before I know it. So light fades on this lost day.
I wrote this song, really, I did.
So light fades on this lost day. I can't remember the next one.
Here's what's going on. I'm not telling you exactly what's going on. I'll come bring it around again. I'll tell you exactly what happened. This was a verbatim experience. This really happened. I was sweeping my driveway. I think it was in the springtime.
Life fades on this lost day. I'm standing here in the driveway. In the silence, I hear an eagle's wings. How's that for a perspective? A perspective. My friend once said, man, you think too much. Of course, he didn't think at all. At least not as much as I thought he should. Mostly when it came to alcohol. Oh, trust me, I heard what he was saying. There was truth in simple words. And truth be told, he was not a simple man. But it was a simple truth I heard. Oh, I heard. It's taken me almost all of these 50 years. And just to be okay with the good thoughts. And sometimes the darkness feels like home. For years, that's a battle that I fought. But it's August here on my front porch. Party with salmon on the grill. And Steve's made his enchiladas. And everyone's gonna get their fill. They're gonna get their fill.
think it was because you mentioned that you liked the fact that I left you on the
porch with
on
the
the porch.
salmon.
I
Yeah.
went to that line in my head.
In your head, yeah.
I'll think of it like halfway through, like the 2 3 tunes down the road.
That's hilarious. It is really nice to, as a songwriter, to get to write about the middle-age angst stuff. You know, you can just kind of get it all out there in that song. And I think that's where some of this came from. You used to save up words that I spoke like pennies you found lying lost on the ground. Roll me up in your arms, keep me safe from harm, and hold me up to the light. Now the days are all spent, don't know where the time went, and I feel so empty. 'Cause it's never enough, no, it's never enough, no, it's never enough. Would you stay for a while now? It's never enough, no, it's never enough, no, it's never enough. Would you please make me smile? Sometimes when you look into the mirror, do you know who you see? Are you who you should be? Do you know where you're going? Do you like we've been? Do you wish you could start over again? 'Cause you got what you wanted and you thought you were free. Now you can't get what you need. 'Cause it's never enough, no, it's never enough, no, it's never enough. Would you stay for a while now? It's never enough, no, it's never enough, no, it's never enough. Would you please make me smile? And we're spending our time like there's time to spare. We're just now starting to care. It's never enough, no, it's never enough, no, it's never enough. Would you stay for a while now? It's never enough, no, it's never enough, no, it's never enough. Would you please make me smile? 'Cause it's never enough, never enough, never enough. No, it's never enough, never enough. Oh, it's never enough. Oh, change guitars. I know. I thought I was so cool with my Missoula stand that my parents gave me. And then John pulls out the dual stand.
That was not right of me, was it? Well, I tuned one of these, in case you guys are interested, I tuned one of these guitars, this one, to a different tuning, a much lower one. And so that's what I got going on here with this guitar. And as you can tell, it's getting close to Willie Nelson territory here with this scraping here. I don't even remember how that happened. That's the strangest thing. It's like all of a sudden I realized that's really kind of getting, wow, what happened here? And we were talking about, guitars, and I was actually very envious of how pristine Katie's guitar looked. I thought, oh man, we
Yeah,
just
that's
see mine.
not good though on the circuit. Yeah. Too pristine.
But we were talking about the first time when I got this guitar. I was the first really nice acoustic guitar that I got, and invested some money into. And turn this down just a little bit. And got it in Seattle, and that night I dinged it the first night.
It's a pretty good ding, too.
It was a nice little ding, and then now it's like, what little ding? I had to look for it. But at the time, I just like, oh man, this is like symbolic. I shouldn't be getting this guitar. I don't deserve it, and all this kind of stuff. Kind of now, this is the Navajo people that put when they do their weaving, they make sure to leave, a mistake in it to
Nice. Yeah.
to dissuade the illusion of the illusion of the illusion that it's perfect. It's perfect.
Nice.
This is one of my tunes, and it's 5 different stories that kind of come together during the chorus. It's called "What Happened Last Night."
I opened my mind again. Last night the dreams came in waves. And last night I traveled in time again. I found my way back home. I found my way back home. I found my way back home. Found my way back home. Last night he felt the spark again. Last night the words came so fast. And last night he knew the truth again. He found his way back home. 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 And last night she said, this will not do. Last night she put out the flame. Last night she said, this is not about you, John. She found her way back home.
Found her way back home.
She found her way back home. She found her way back home. She found her way back home. And last night last night, another year older. And last night she said a prayer of thanks. And they found their way back home. They found their way back home. They found their way back home. Found their way back home. Last night the wolves were howling again. Last night the moon was full. And last night the full moon was swallowed in clouds. Still they found their way back home. And they found their way back home. They found their way back home. Found their way back home. Found their way back home. Found their way back home.
bad, doesn't it? Just blow your hair back. Okay, so join me on this one. That was one of those just kind of a straightforward blues songs on this one. I don't know. Yeah, the one in E. Yeah. So I don't know about y'all, but you know, when I'm faced with a bully and someone who tells me off and can just ramble on and put me in my place, I always have the perfect comeback. About 6 hours later, in the middle of the night, when I can't sleep. Yeah. So the great thing about being a songwriter is you can invent a whole scenario where you have just the perfect thing to say when such a bully comes your way. So that's what's going on here. You flash your power suit, launch your stacks of gold. You think the human heart can be bartered and sold. Well, save all your bills, I won't be one of your shills. How you can keep on talking, 'cause I'm already gone. I'll take it down. I hear you talk so big, always sneering a dig. You build yourself tall by making others small. The sound of your voice is music to your own ears. Well, you can keep on talking, 'cause I'm already gone. Why don't you play fair? Ha! Why don't you be nice? Do you sell your soul for any asking price? Say I stack the deck, deal you in, bag you fortune and fame. Yeah, you're good at this game, but when I burn by the flame, I'll know who to blame. So you can keep on talking, I'm gonna keep on walking. Alright, let's bring it home. You can keep on talking, 'cause I'm already gone. I knew he could do that. I knew he could do it.
Very nice.
Yeah, on the CD, actually, I wrote that for a guy, is a keyboard player named Bob Malone, who plays for John Fogerty.
Oh,
Yeah. So I became a fan of his. It's just like this, in a concert like this, you join the mailing list, and then all of a sudden you're out to the concerts, and I'm talking to him in the. Anyway, so I ended up writing this song for him to play, because I knew he could really show off his piano chops. And I figured, he lives in LA, and he's gonna, it's a sweet little fan. He'll just record it, and then he'll get an email from me. He's like, I'm coming to Charlotte. I'll come through. Why don't I just play that for you live, in the studio. So Bob Malone's playing that with me on my EP.
Well, what was coming to mind during that was "Hell hath no wrath, like a woman songwriter scorned."
That's true. Yeah. You don't want to piss off a songwriter. Yeah.
Well, this tune actually has an interesting backstory to it. I don't know if you know this. I wrote this originally as a tune. I wrote the lyrics to this first, which is harder for me. I don't know about you, but it's harder for me to write lyrics first. It's harder for me to write lyrics anyway. As you can see, I forget them, even the ones I write. So, but I wrote this. The lyrics to this tune came to me on a road trip with Jen Adams, actually.
Oh, cool.
And so we had a chance to perform together quite a bit, and we have over the years a number of times. And she's just such a marvelous musician, and kind of my sister from another mother, although she claims my mother as well. Excuse me. Oops. And so I wrote this originally. I was thinking of kind of a torch song that would fit Jen's kind of bluesy delivery, and it ended up not at all that. So, but as they say, got a song out of it. So this is called "Would You Look for Me in Autumn."
Oh, yeah. All right.
You look for me in autumn, here in Memphis with the blues. It's even warm here in November, and I'm so cold without you. It's warm here in November, I'm so cold without you. I'm so cold without you. You look for me in autumn, and New England leaves are turning. Their death is something beautiful. Mine is one for learning. Their death is something beautiful. Mine is one for learning. Death is something beautiful. Mine is one for learning. You look for me in autumn, Montana short of season. I would wait for you forever here. You would know the reason. I'd wait for you forever here. You would know the reason. Wait for you forever here. You know the reason. Wait for you forever here. You know the reason. I'd wait for you forever here. You know the reason. You know the reason. You know the reason. Only you would know the reason.
This next song is actually the title song to my EP. and it was inspired by Montana sceneries, something I saw in Montana. I was driving out here, and usually back east I have to describe the topography and the big sky and why it's so and why you can look for hundreds of miles. You get this. So I was driving along the road, could see big old storm system way off, and the rain coming down. I could see the black streaks coming underneath the clouds, and the streaks were only coming about halfway down, and I realized the rain was evaporating before it could hit the ground. And we all know how valuable the rain is out here, and that scene just struck me as so poignant, and it just brought me to tears. And I thought, what is this? It's about human relationships and these moments where you sit with somebody, and you've got a storm brewing between the two of you, and you feel the words just swirling around. I mean, you can almost reach out and touch those words. But you can't say the right thing, and you want them to say something, and they're not saying the right thing, and you feel all that frustration and sadness and longing, and that's where this song comes in. It's called Something True. This is going to be so much more pleasant in tune. No, sorry, the sun is kind of wreaking havoc here. Oh yeah.
That's what you get for that fancy schmancy guitar you haven't dinged up yet.
It's exactly it. Yeah, it's like, it's such a prima donna. It's like, oh, I'm feeling a chill. Just, get with it. Girl, you gotta keep going. They don't want to hear me tune. All right, that's gonna be a little closer at least. I'm not gonna, make it perfect yet. Tell me something true, a promise between me and you, a lover's first gaze, broken hearted cliches, long lonely Valentine days. Won't you open your heart, open your heart, let me in. Tell me something real, something only you feel, how your heels clicked the floor when you walked out that door, silence that started to roar, but the words fly around without making a sound, drawing near with anger and fear, then dry up in the air in unspoken despair, like rain that never hits ground. Won't you open your heart, open your heart, open your heart, let me in. Please tell me tonight, before I give up this fight. Tell me something true.
I have to admit, I feel a little bit like Bono with these glasses.
Well, that's a good thing.
Not a bad thing at all. I happen to know that Bono was in Montana. Do you guys know that?
No.
Yeah, it was in the paper. And how it got to the paper was he stayed at a bed and breakfast, I think in Summers. Excuse me. And he was there to visit a man named Eugene Peterson, who is a very famous biblical scholar, and who lives, I can't give away his location because privacy, but somewhere up in that vicinity. So Bono, it's a really great story. Bono is very much a Christian guy, and he really was compelled to meet Mr. Peterson. And I know from knowing his family up there that Mr. Peterson had no idea who Bono, some guy called Bono, he wants to get together, he wants to fly me somewhere. Who is this guy? So I think that's what was going on. So I figured as long as he knows where Montana is, that it's time you two got here to the stadium and played a concert. So that'll be a great segue for a U2 tune, but I don't have that. Just, I could do. I had to learn Where the Streets Have No Name.
Oh, nice.
For a wedding, no less. And I thought, whoa, really? And but then if you get a little deeper into the lyrics, it's like, oh, that is pretty cool. So I had to do the looping, you know, the whole thing. Oh, it's really cool. Worked out great.
But you're not going to get to
That's not what I'm going to do.
You have to come out to another gig where he'll play it for you.
Yeah. This is one of my tunes. It's called Only If I Could Be a Boat.
Cast me out to the ocean, do away with me, and I'm just no good for you, as you can surely see. I'll cast into the ocean, so as you please, only if I can be on board that carries you, carries you across the sea. Cast me out to the desert sun, leave me there to stay, and I can only cause you grief tomorrow as today. I cast you to the desert sun, leave you there to stay, only if I can be the rain to quench your thirst, to quench your thirst away. cast me out to the winter's cold. Leave me there alone. Bitter cold embrace me, let it chill me into the bone. Well, I cast you to the winter's cold. Leave me there alone. Only if I can be the sun that warms your very soul. Well, I'll cast you to the winter's cold, and I'll leave you here alone. Only if I can be the sun that warms your very soul. Your very soul. Your very soul. Your very soul.
You're in the shade now.
I know. I was like debating. Yeah, can I take that off? There's a little bit of glare, so I think I'm gonna keep them on a little while longer. My husband is one of 5 children. He's the middle of 5, and there are 2 older brothers who were very competitive with each other, played sports, got lots of attention, and 2 adorable twin sisters. And so his grandmothers felt like he got neglected, and they frequently told my mother-in-law this, and they said, poor little old Dan. And this drove my mother-in-law crazy, as you can imagine, because she knew he was not neglected. And she liked to tell this story about when she took him all by himself up to the shoe store in Nashville. And they lived about 70 miles south, so it was a long trip. And he had her undivided attention, and he talked her ear off the entire time. And then they got to the shoe store, and he tried on every shoe in the store, which, frankly, he still does. So I don't go shoe shopping with him. And the clerk, and then still talking their ear off. And the clerk, after a while, had just had enough of this. And he looked at my mother-in-law, and he said, well, he must be an only child. And my mother-in-law reared her shoulders back and lifted up her chin, and she said, well, he is today. It was his yearly trip to the city store. Rows and rows of boots and galoshes. This one's too loose, that one's too tight. This one's too cheap, but that one's not right. Big decision, keeps looking for more. Can he find one pair? There's so many choices. So let me be your brown shoes, the ones you always choose. Your brown shoes make you feel so fine. We fit together, soul to soul. You'll say, I'm so glad you're mine, all mine, brown shoes. They were a perfect pair, easy to wear, nice support, room in the toes. Horton was short, he had a proposal, lace on up with a golden tether, buff the shine with lots of care, and at the end of the day, go home together. So let me be your brown shoes, the ones you always choose. Your brown shoes make you feel so fine. We fit together, soul to soul. You'll say, I'm so glad you're mine, all mine, brown shoes. Travel the miles, no matter on the hill. A brand new pair might seem like a deal, but he's not seduced by a fancy label. He'll stick with these shoes as long as he's able. So let me be your brown shoes, the ones you always choose. Your brown shoes make you feel so fine. We get together, shoulder to shoulder. You'll say, I'm so glad you're mine, on my brown shoes. You're my brown shoes, the one I always choose. My brown shoes, my brown shoes, my brown shoes.
I can't help but notice.
See, very good. And I was thinking my mom would probably get the pun, the soul to soul. Yeah. At least I was like, how do I spell that when I really mean it both ways? You know?
You could do S-O-U-L to S-O-L-E.
That's what I finally decided. That's what I decided. I kind of put them both in and thought, oh, you decide which it is.
I want to make an executive decision. I don't want to lose the
Woo!
honors.
That's brave. That's brave.
Going in. I'm going in.
Okay, all right.
And yet the sun is still beautifully illuminating the cotoneasters behind.
Now he's showing off. If he knows the name of those, and it's like, oh, those pretty shrub things with red on them.
Katie was very impressed that I dropped cotoneasters. They are fantastic.
Yeah. How about giving it up for Stacy and Eric again? Yeah.
A lot of people don't know they planted every single cotoneaster, not just for their yard, but for this concert.
Right.
Well, this is a song I wrote a few years ago, and I wrote this. I don't do this very often. It's just really, truly was specifically for someone. It was for a friend of mine who was going through a battle with ovarian cancer, and she's a fellow musician and a brilliant singer and a fantastic, beautiful human being, and so that's and it's funny because I never actually shared it with her for some reason. I don't know why. I was embarrassed or something, and she fought back. And if you knew her, you'd know that she has this incredible strength, and she fought back. And then recently I found out that she's got to battle through it again. So it's apropos to play this tune, and yeah, I know I'm very confident she's going to plow through it again. But this is kind of what the song is about, is getting through that. And it's called We'll Wait for You. And that title comes from the fact that she's played here. I think it's okay. I can say her name. Her name is Erica Luckett, and I don't know if you know Erica or not. I don't do the Spanish R very well. But it's Erica, and she's a beautiful friend and a wonderful person. And so she's played here in Missoula. So I was kind of thinking, sort of writing the song, not just from my own perspective, but from the community, because a lot of people, when they found out that she was having to battle through something, they really rallied for her. So it's called "We'll Wait for You." It's 2 o'clock in the morning again, and I think the moon is keeping me up again. Got my paper and I've got my pen, 6 strings in my hands, and you're over on the left coast west of here, miles and miles away from here. And our big sky hearts are waiting here for your return. But you got far
more important things on your mind. We've got all the time in the world. We'll wait for you. Wait for you. Always wear your heart on your sleeve. Put it in your songs for all to see. Even with this hard news that you receive, we shouldn't be surprised. I know there was a time when you struggled with if all of this was worthwhile. The darkness came, but you just smiled. You waved her on her way. 'Cause you got far more important things on your mind. And we've got all the time in the world. We'll wait for you. We'll wait for you. I've got no doubt you'll come out of this, and you'll shine your light even on this. This battle that you never wanted, even this, you will not be denied. 'Cause you've got far more important things on your mind. We've got all the time in the world. We'll wait for you. We'll wait for you.
Okay, I'm going to play one cover for you, actually, and this is at my mom's request that I got to hear this song live right before it won Bluegrass Song of the Year. It's written by Claire Lynch and Louisa Branscombe, and it's letters that from Louisa's great-grandfather, I guess, in the Civil War that he wrote to his sister, and it's just a beautiful piece, kind of for a plea for peace. No extra charge, by the way, for the bird accompaniment. This may be my last letter. I may never see the cotton fields of home again. I miss you, dear sister. Tonight I never felt so all alone. The stars were so thick that the Stones River stars could scarcely invade the dread and the dark. And all that I could see when I closed my eyes to dream was home, sweet home. In the camps of round forest, the midnight coals were glowing through the haze. The Union boys sang Hail Columbia, then we sang Look Away. Away. Then a hush in the rain, and there rose a sweet refrain in the dark before the dawn. And instead of battle songs, the enemy and we all sing the melody of home, sweet home. So if this is my last letter, and I never see the cotton fields of home again, if I fall here at Stones River, I pray that God will bear away my soul. And I wait for you there, where all is bright and fair, where the light of God's face outshines the blue and gray, where all of humankind, yes, all of humankind will find home, sweet home. I think maybe one more song each, or two.
We're debating on time.
How are we doing? Yeah.
You're doing good.
Okay. Yeah.
Getting warmed
Oh,
up.
yeah. This is really special for me because I have my parents and my sister, who I really rarely get to see here, and then my cousins Pete and Gingy, who are really like another mom and dad to me. So they're a really special night for me. So thank you so much. Yeah. And a cousin who's in Afghanistan right now. So I couldn't say that before the song. I thought I will never make it through. But yeah, I was thinking about him.
Yeah, I don't know what to play after that.
Yeah, sorry. Let's go happy again. I've got one upbeat one to take us out. So.
All right, okay.
I'll go.
Let's see, let's do this key. I'm still struggling a little bit with a cold, so I'm a little more in Barry White range.
Which is all good for me. All good for me. Love Barry White. My brother-in-law kind of sounds like Barry White sometimes when he answers the phone. Hello. Barry.
This is one of my tunes, and this was on my second album, which which was called Part of the Picture, and I sank a good chunk of money into that record. And I think I made it back. I'm pretty sure I did.
Wow, that would be unusual.
Yeah, it was close. I really enjoy going back and listening to it, even though I don't really feel like I sound anything like that version of John Floridis as much anymore. But it was loaded with all kinds of other musicians, and they play so beautifully and sing so beautifully on it. I don't know where to start. All the different people. Well, Jen Adams was on it, Beth Youngblood plays fiddle on it, and Janet Harvig plays cello. And I know there's some classical music fans, so they may know Janet from the String Orchestra of the Rockies, and Beth, I think, does that as well. Beth Bramhall played piano and accordion and hammered dulcimer, all kinds of stuff. Lawrence Duncan, who's one of the drum brothers, he also works for Chalice of Repose. Well, or actually, he works, I shouldn't say that. He's a music thanatologist. He does works with hospice. He was studied with Chalice of Repose. Gosh, just a great group of musicians. And so anyway, this song, it comes from that era. And when I was writing the lyrics to this, it's kind of a pop tune, I guess, or something. But I guess you could call it maybe sort of a Paul Simon sort of take on things. But one of the things that is I'm very proud of is that I fit Kareem Abdul-Jabbar into the lyrics.
Nice. Did you rhyme it?
Sort of.
Okay, all right.
But part of my agenda was I've always been a fan of his, and at that time, which was the late 90s, it was all about Michael Jordan, and everybody was kind of forgetting about Kareem. So I'm like, okay, this is going to do it. A folk rock song from a guy from Montana. This is what's going to do. They'll remember Kareem.
I'm sure he's done that.
You can make me brave, real raging. You can make me swim the ocean blue. You can make me dive the deepest depths. There's nothing I won't do for you. Nothing I won't do for you. Nothing I won't do for you. Nothing I won't do. You can make me scale the highest tower, climb any mountain, even K2. Well, I'd get the tip off from Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. There's nothing I won't do for you. No, nothing I won't do for you. Nothing I won't do for you. Nothing I won't do. Now there's many things I've tried, there's many things I've failed, many things I've never done at all. With you by my side, there's just nothing I won't do. Take the net, I know I'll never fall. Never fall,
Never fall,
never fall,
never fall,
never fall, never fall, never fall, never fall, no, never fall. I would tame the wildest Bengal tiger. I would make every gangster pay his every due, and I would stare down any mafioso. No, there's nothing I won't do for you. Nothing I won't do for you. Nothing I won't do for you. Nothing I won't do. Nothing I won't do for you. Nothing I won't do for you. Nothing I won't do for you. Nothing I won't do.
Okay. Oh, yes, it's cake time, so I'm going to take us out. Again, thank you so much to Stacy and Eric, and to all of you. This is a really special time. As you know, musicians don't always get such a lovely audience as all of you. And so I'll take us out with a song that I really wrote as a tribute to just how fabulous it feels when you get to play with other great musicians like John, and you know, you're right there with the audience. So it's a love song for music itself. Some of the people think that there's some double entendres in it, but you know, really? Okay. So this one's in E. Also got some good solos.
Wanna live in a song, so you can play me all night long. Wanna live in a song, so you can play me all night long. Pull my guitar right on out of her case and strum my strings from the treble to the bass. I wanna live in a song. Oh, oh, oh. I'll take one. Wanna live in a bottle for a time, so you can make me spin and jive. I wanna live in a bottle for a time, so you can make me spin and jive. Lay my record on the old turntable and step in my grooves if you're willing and able. I wanna live in a 45. Oh, 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 play it. Wanna live in a drum, so you can make my skin thrum. I wanna live in a drum, so you can make my skin thrum. Brush my hi-hat, stroke my cymbal, baby, play the whole kit if you're feeling nimble. I wanna live in a drum. Oh, oh, oh. Play me all night
all so much. This has been really fun. Let's go eat cake. Yeah.
Stacey, say something about the cake.
Would you like the microphone, Stacey?
There are a lot of Southerners in this audience. That's number one. So one cake maker is right there. It's Kelly. The other cake maker is my mama and my great-grandmother and a neighbor friend of ours from central Louisiana. And I think they're going to have little name tags next to the plate if the wind doesn't blow them off. So you're tasting a little bit of the South for dessert. And no, it's top secret. I can't tell you, Gingy. Just let's go eat. Just a little coffee, and then of course there's iced tea and water, and then all your adult beverages you brought. So you guys are so good.